Hi everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel Zero Analyst. This is the first day of October, so I have decided to create a goal trackers for all of you so that you can track your progress towards your goals, because visualizing your goal is very important. So in this video, we will be learning how to create a personal habit tracker or goal tracker using Google Sheet. And also by end of this video, I'm going to give you this goal tracker so you can just recustomize it if you don't want to create by yourself, and you can use this tracker to visualize your goals. Now by end of this video, I'm going to show you how you can reuse this goal tracker for tracking your own goals. It could be learning, it could be cracking a job interview, it could be reducing weight, it could be anything. So you can recustomize this goal tracker and you can use it for your purpose. You can visualize your progress month by month, and I hope this is going to be really helpful. Now let's see some functionality of this goal tracker. You can see this goal tracker has some of the tasks. Now you can add more tasks as well. Now in each of this task, I have added 30 days. Okay, so whenever for a specific day you will complete the task. Let's say today is the day one, and let's say I am completing this task. You can see as soon as I complete the task for this morning learning, you can see that's get increased. Okay, if I complete this task 3, then you can see this get increased. Okay, let's go ahead and say that if I'm increasing the task, you can see it is getting increasing. So let's start from completely scratch. Now we will be kind of creating everything from scratch completely, and then I'm going to give you the link to reuse it. Okay, now to reuse it, make sure click this file and click this make copy, because I've seen a lot of people request for edit access, which is not possible. So if you just click on make copy, you will be getting your own copy and you will be able to edit it, because that's going to host in your Google Drive. Okay, so now you can see I have just created a copy, and here you can see still I have the edit access. So same way you need to make sure that click on file, click on make copy, because otherwise you will not be getting edit access. So let's start from completely scratch, and I would just go ahead and start with the new sheet called sheets.new, or you can just go to Google Drive and open a Google Sheet. Okay, that's fine. So the first thing we will do is that we would need to select 33 cell. Okay, because 30 cell I need for the 30 days, and one cell I need for to do, and last two cell I need for basically kind of progress and the productivity. Okay, so I would first go ahead and first select this 32 cell which I need. So let's go ahead and select everything and make resize it. Okay, because I would like to resize all the cell here. So you can see now cells are resized, and you can see I have 26 cell here, because till Z I have it here. So 26, I would need another maybe 7 more, right? So going to be 3 4 5 6 7. So let's kind of add 8 more. If I add, I would just able to delete it. So let's click on this insert, is going to add some more cell. Okay, now I have I think 33 cells. So that's kind of perfect for me. I can just delete one more from here. Okay, so this is looks perfectly fine. We can just recustomize it to make it little smaller, each of this cell. Okay, so I just want to ensure that this is in my window, right? Let me just make it little bigger. Okay, so this kind of perfect. Okay, now what I would like to do is that first I would just set the 30 cells together, and I'm going to set as a call kind of name. Okay, so let's give a nice name to this 30 cells, where I would just give a name called October goal tracker. So I'm just going to leave first one, which is going to be my to-do task. So from here, which is going to be C to maybe here, I'm just going to set as the October. Okay, so first let's just click on merge, and let's kind of increase it a little bit up to cell, and here let's give a name called October goal tracker. Now you can give any name whatever you want. Okay, so I'm going to use a simple font here. So let's set it call maybe 18, and let's set it in the middle, and let's change the font to which is called kbit. Okay, so this kind of font I like. I would just set it to maybe bold, and let's set it to maybe 22. Okay, so this is fine. This is my the kind of main welcoming heading. Next what I want is that I would leave, let's say till here. I'm going to basically create a chart, so I'm going to leave till here. So here I would just maybe give a name call which is called task. I will be adding all the tasks here. Okay, so let's first add a task called maybe morning. Let's add some task. Okay, so I would say meditations task 1, and next task is going to be maybe morning learning task 2. This is the task 2, and maybe morning learning task 3. Okay, let's have like two tasks in the morning. So one is meditations and another two, again you can customize this task based on you whatever you want. That's fine. Let's add more tasks. So next I would need maybe something called reading, which is called book reading. That's going to be my task 4. And I'm going to add call evening learning. So that's going to be my task 5. And evening learning, that's going to be my task 6. Okay, so that's fine. I am going to also add maybe something called next day planning. That's going to be my task 6. So we are tracking total 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so this is, should be 7. Okay, so total 7 tasks we are tracking. Now you can add as many as tasks you want to track. Double click on it and you see that's kind of auto adjusted, so that is fine. Let's click on the first cell as a bold. Okay, we will change this font as well, so that's we will do later on. Now what I want here is that I want to have a 30 cells together, because that's where I would kind of create 30 days. Okay, so that start from a C. So I would first go ahead and maybe give a number here so that to make it easy. So 1 2 3. Okay, now I can use kind of a sequence to create 30 cells together. So that's 28 29 30. I want to track it for 30 days. Okay, so you can see 30 cells together is fine. Now let's go ahead and delete this first. I don't need this anymore. And so you can see 30 cells now are together. I would just need a 30 checkbox. Okay, so first select this 30 cells, go to this insert and go to this checkbox, which is this one, and you can see we have added 30 checkbox. Okay, so that's fine. I would just need some more functionality, so I think I would need one more cell here. So let me just go ahead and kind of re-optimize it everything. Let's first kind of re-optimize it everything to this level, and maybe a little more reduce it. Okay, because we need a 2 more cell, so I would just need one more cell here because I need one more cell. Okay, to the right. I'm going to tell you why. So let's kind of re-optimize it to a little bit. Oops, that's too much. So let's reduce it a bit. Still too much. Okay, I think this is perfect. So I would just write here called productivity, and here I'm going to write something called progress, which is a percentage sign. Okay, so let's double click to auto fit it. Let's make sure everything in the middle. So select everything and make sure they are in the middle. So just middle align it, and here I would just need to kind of increase this to a bit more. Again, I think I would need to readjust because I want to see the whole page in one page completely without kind of re-stretching it. So I would just select it here to reduce everything, and now double click on it. Oops. So that's fine, and I'm going to double click on it. Okay, so and also I'm going to double click on it. So this is kind of perfectly fine. So this is what I wanted. Now that is fine. Next what I would do is that here I'm going to add some functionality, so that's going to count this checkbox. See, I can select this checkbox, right? So what I want here is that I would give some functions which is going to count this checkbox, like how many checkboxes I have, which is for task 1 task 2 task 3. Okay, now here I would like to visualize my this progress, which is the main goal. So I would go ahead and kind of select few of the cells and I would just merge them together. I would like to see my charts here, so let's go and click on this merge. Okay, so very simple way it's kind of done. Okay, now that's it, only we had to do. What I will do is that I'm going to kind of do some formatting here. So first I want to set this border. So let's go ahead and go to this border and go to this kind of this borders. I think I like this one. Let's set maybe some colors. So we will be using kind of this colors, which is called purple. Okay, now you can set any colors. So here I think for this dash I'm going to use this black colors only, but this first one, click on this and you see now a nice kind of kind of backgrounds, nice kind of border you can see. Okay, so what I will do is that we will be removing the main border. So go to view, show and grid lines, remove the grid lines. Okay, so everything is done. Next what we would need is that we need to count this productivity. So if it is like 1, I would want to see 1 here. If it is 2 check, I would want to see 2 check here. So for that what you would do is that you would just write here, and you can use something called count if. Okay, if you have never used these functions, you do no need to worry. So this count if is going to count how many true we have, which is called how many checkbox we have. Okay, now you can just reuse these functions. Okay, so I would just show you what is this functions is. So you say count if, then inside this parenthesis you need to select your range, which is your first to last. Okay, we are tracking 30 days. You see I have just simply selected B14 to AE14. So that means from here to here, give a comma, just put true, that's it. TRUE, true. Okay, that's it. So you simply want to count true. True means this check is kind of selected. Close the brackets, very simple. Count if range only one line and then true, because we want to count from 1 to 30. Okay, so let's press enter, and you can see it is showing as a 0 at the moment. We will select 1 day, you can see it showing 1. We would select 2 day, it's showing 2. Okay, so that's one of the functions. You can just click and drag it or copy paste it, both way it works fine. If you select it, you can just re-verify it if it's working for the same line or not. Yes, it is working for the same line. Okay, so that is what. Now next what you need is that we need a nice percentage along with your target. So what is the target now? And let's understand. Let's say you are saying that you would do meditations for 30 days. Okay, I know that while planning it's very easy to kind of decide that okay, I would do this for 30 days, I would do this for 80 days, or I mean 20 days, 5 days, whatever it is, right? Now the problem is that when you actually do it, you will miss a lot of days. But the problem is that when you miss it, next day again you miss it, you thought okay, I couldn't do it, so let's skip it 2 days, and today as well, let's skip tomorrow as well. So this is how you kind of get a habit of skipping. Okay, so that's the reason. Just give some, you can say, some extra leniency, so that even if you miss 1 day, so you don't kind of miss your goals, you know that what is your goals, right? So that's the reason what I usually do, I set 80% target. So that means in 1 week we have 7 days, and I would be setting 80%, which is going to be times 0.80%, that's going to be somewhere around 5.6 days. I usually do it for 5 days. Okay, so you can see it's going to be somewhere around 75%. So what does it mean is that if you have a 30 days, let's say this some of the we can set some of the importance. So let's say this to learning is very important for me, so I can just maybe highlight them maybe in a color, something like this. So these two are very important, and these two evening learnings are very important, which are my one of the main key goals. Okay, so evening learning, and so these two I want to ensure that I follow it for maybe 80%. Okay, so that means out of 30 days, if you just consider 80%, so 30 times 0.8, that's going to be somewhere around 24 days, right? So that means we would want to see 24 days we achieve it. If in case we achieve it for 24 days, I'm kind of happy. Okay, now next day planning is very crucial. So I would want to ensure that I am following it for 90 days. So for 90 days, it's going to be 30 into 0.9, so that's going to be 27 days. So based on the priority, you can decide how many days you want to achieve it, how many days you want to do it, because this is very important concept. So I would go ahead and say that the first one I want to track it maybe for 75 days, or maybe 75%, maybe 22 days. Okay, so you can just say select equals, select this productivity divided by what, 22. Okay, so you see at the moment you are seeing 0, that's totally fine. Now next one you would want, which is called next to, which is you want this one divided by, which is called learning. So I want to track it for 80%. So same way I would also need 80% for here as well, and this two as well. Okay, now next one I will need for kind of 90%, that's going to be 27 days. So here I would just go ahead and say equals this divided by 27. Okay, so that is fine. So this one, how much you need? So that's in book reading, maybe I need for maybe 22 days. Okay, so I would say this divide by 22. Now this again you can set based on you how much you want to track. Okay, now let's verify it if it's working. So let's select 1 2 3 4 5. You can say for 5 days it's kind of showing 5, and you see this percent is showing in decimal, so we need to change it to kind of proper percentage. Okay, so just select everything and go to this percentage sign and click once. That's it. Okay, now you can see it's showing 22%. So that means out of like the goal was kind of 22 days, you have achieved for 5 days, so you have achieved for 22.73%. Okay, I don't want to see kind of this second decimal, so you can select it, reduce 10 by here. Okay, oops, 10. Okay, this kind of looks cool, and if you can verify it, if you see here, a lot of things are kind of happening. Okay, so that is fine. Now next what I need is that I would be creating a chart, but before that let's kind of do some more formatting here. So I want to format first of all this text to kind of nice formatting. So let's go ahead and kind of format them nice way. Select this, change the font, whatever font you like. So I would like to give this font which is called KB8, so I would just set it called 13, and I'm going to set this as well called bold. Okay, so all this font I want this same font, and I need maybe 13 here as well. Okay, let's double click to auto adjust in the productivity. So this is fine. Now you can see the task and everything. Now I would also change this as well. So just select this which is called 30 days checkbox and go to this data format and go to this conditional formatting. Now this is optional. If you want to do it, you can do it. Now I want to make sure that this formatted to some colors whenever it is kind of selected as a tick. Okay, so for that you have selected the range. You just need to go to this formula sections, and here you just need to find something called is equal to. Okay, this one is equal to, and what you are trying to track is a true. If it is true, what you want, so you can give any colors. So let's say I want to give it as a purple colors. If it is true, it's going to be purple colors, because theme I'm going to set as a purple. Okay, so that is fine. Now you can see as soon as I select it, it's purple. Second, I would do some conditional formatting here as well. So the conditional formatting I would do is that if it is more than 60%, if I achieve more than 60%, I want to change it to green. If it is less than 40%, I want to change it to yellow. Or if it is more than 40 but less than 60, I would want to set it as kind of something called maybe some other colors. So let's first set our first condition, which is more than 60%. So select this range, go to this form data, go to this format and conditional formatting, and here you just need to find out which is called greater than. Okay, so we would say greater than or equals to. So if it is greater than equals to kind of 60%, I would want to change the colors to kind of little darker green. Okay, so that's first condition. Second condition I would need, if it is kind of less than, which is going to be less than or equal to 40%, so that's where I would want to change the color to kind of maybe reddish. Okay, and if it is kind of greater than, which is called one more greater than, if in case it is greater than 40, then I would change it to kind of little yellowish. Okay, so three conditions I have set. Now everything seems to be showing as a yellow because no goal has reached 60%. Let's kind of make sure something get reached 60 and above. Okay, you see as soon as it reached 63%, you see it is kind of showing 63 and it's showing as a green. Okay, and if it is not 63, so that's where you kind of see that as a kind of yellowish. So let's see if in case 40% one is working. So it seems 40% one is a kind of simple showing white color, so we just need to recheck the conditional formatting. So conditional formatting, and this one I would need to check. So I'm saying if it is greater than or greater than. Okay, cool, no problem. So let's kind of delete this two conditions. Let's keep it only two conditions. Okay, so let's make it simple. So I'm just going to format conditional formatting. Let's delete this one. So if it is greater than 60%, I want it green. Otherwise I want it kind of, if it is less than 40%, I want it kind of this colors. And what I need else is that is this, the middle one is going to be white colors. Even if you want to change it to yellow, you can do it. So that is fine for now, and I don't want darker, so I would just go to conditional formatting again, and I'm going to say if it is kind of more than 60% or more than 40%. Okay, so more than 40%, it's going to be simply greater than, and I would just need to use lighter, basically green. Okay, so again you can kind of play with it how you want to set your conditions. Okay, now either it is going to be a kind of this red color, the light red, or it's going to be kind of green colors. Okay, so we can test it. We can change here as well. You see 8.3, and as soon as it cross kind of 60%, Okay, so you see now it has changed to green colors. Okay, so this is fine. Now what next, what I need is that I need a chart, right? So chart I need based on this title and based on this kind of productivity and this kind of progress. Okay, so that is what I need as a task. Okay, so for that what I will do is that I would just select this, press control and Mac for command for Mac, then I would again select this. So this two range must be selected. I will go to insert and click on chart. Okay, so that's how you will be getting a chart like this, but we need to do some formatting. So first of all, the chart I am looking for is something called, this one which is called stacked step area chart. Okay, so you'll be having a nice area and you would kind of see the chart based on a kind of area. Okay, so this is fine. Let's go ahead and kind of reformat it based on the space we have. Okay, so we can just re-optimize it and select it. We want to see the chart from here to kind of till our 30 days, so maybe till here I want to see my chart. Okay, so that's kind of perfectly adjusted. You can see the color is at the moment showing something. So few of the formatting we would want to do is that we would just go ahead and kind of first of all select it and let's do some setup. Okay, so here everything already looks fine. We would just need some more things, so we will do that. So combine horizon vertical, I think it's horizontally is fine. So by default whatever it is, it's kind of perfectly fine for me. What I want to do is that I would just go ahead and go to this customize and go to this chart style. So here you can change the background if you want to change the background. So we don't want any background, so I would just go ahead and say no background. So borders, I don't want any borders. So, or if you want, you can just select any colors. Okay, so I don't want any borders, so that's fine. Now area and axis title, so we don't want any title, so it's not given. Perfect. Now in this series we can kind of make some changes with these colors. So this colors I want to set as a purple, so I would just go ahead and say what I want is kind of purple colors. So not too bright, but maybe something like this. Line opacity you can kind of reduce it to maybe 90%, that's going to be fine. And line also you can change it, but I think the first one looks fine. I would just add a label so that tells like what percentage I have achieved. Okay, so that's going to be data labels, and you see here I have a percentage of achievements, like whatever I have achieved. Okay, so I would just set it as a bold. And this text color for this label we can change it to little darker, something like this. Okay, this is too much, let's kind of change it little darker. So this is fine. Next what I need is that something called trend line. Okay, so for that you can go to series and you can go to something called trend line. Okay, that's going to be here, which is called data and this trend line. Okay, so you can even have the total labels as well, which we do not want, but trend line what do you want. And change this trend line to kind of darker or red, because that's going to show you how you are progressing. Okay, so that's kind of fine. Change it to 1 pixel. Opacity is 40% is also fine, or you can change it to kind of 50 or 60%. Okay, so change it to kind of light red. So you can do a lot of things here, but I think this kind of perfectly works for us. What I just need this in grid lines, so I may not need this in grid line. So what I will do is that I would just go ahead and uncheck it. If you want a grid line, so we can kind of have it, which kind of say something like major grid line, and change this color to kind of light, gray. Okay, so it looks kind of little better at least. So again, this is not required, but that's on you if you want to keep this grid line. Okay, so this is fine. This is our trend line and this is our charts, and this is how this dashboard looks like. Now if you want to optimize it, you can drag it till here, so that's on you, or you can just increase it as well. You can kind of add some space more here like this. Okay, because you can add more and more tasks here. You can see I have kept some space here so that you can add more and more tasks. Okay, now here also you can just resize it based on the space you have. Okay, this is perfectly fine. So you can see this goal trigger. Let's change the text to which is our main text, and now everything looks great. Let's go ahead and test it. So I would first go ahead and kind of unselect everything, and then we would see how these charts are working. So select everything and paste kind of empty this which is called this checkbox. Now let's kind of test it. Okay, so let's first say today is the day one. Today I have done meditations. Let's see, you can see it's showing kind of this meditations and this. Then I can select one more meditations. two more meditations, three more meditations, and so on, so on. Okay. So here I see kind of nice a percentage. Okay, that's fine. Now we will go ahead and kind of, let's say for this one, this task we have completed few days here. You see, as soon as I select this productivity get added, this percentage get added. Okay, so this kind of perfect for visualizing it. Now you can see it, we have this percentage added. Okay, so that is fine. Now what you need is that maybe you can check it for next day planning, so how much you are achieving it. Okay, so you can see that 10 days we have achieved, still showing as 37%, because our target is kind of more than what we kind of planned. Okay, all right, so let's see some more days, and this is how it is working. So this is the trend line, is showing the overall trend line, how your progress are going. So some goal you have not touched it, so you can just give some of them some kind of checkbox. So you will be completing day by day. Okay, now this is how you can kind of create goal triggers. Let's select for some of the day for this as well. Okay, so for each day your task is to kind of just complete that day task. Now you can add more tasks as well. As I said, that's on you, how many tasks you want to progress. Okay, so let's select some of the things. I can, you can reformat and this the kind of this area as well. Okay, so let's kind of add some grading more, and let's add here as well. Let's add more, and I think I did not touch it, so I'm going to add some here. Okay, so you can see same way as you do this, a trend line is showing nicely like how your progress are going. All right, so this is it, I think. Thank you so much for watching the video till the end. I hope you have learned something new, and I hope it was kind of really learning full video. And if you have learned something, do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Do share your thought in the comment box. So let's see the progress and let's achieve those goals together. And I will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.